One of the wealthiest rulers in the world is indeed the Sultan of Brunei. He earns about $103 every second and claims a net worth of about $30 billion. He has literally done nothing to convert Brunei's huge liquid gold reserves into tangible gold. So why don't we examine the extraordinary life of the Sultan of Brunei, the world's lazy yet richest monarch? It's no secret that the Sultan of Brunei enjoys driving, and when you're that rich, you can afford almost any automobile you want. About 7,000 vehicles totaling over $5 billion in worth are owned by the Sultan. He reportedly has a sizable collection that includes roughly 600 Rolls-Royces, 450 Ferraris, and 380 Bentleys. Among them includes a Ferrari MYTHOS, a car that never made it into production, but the Sultan owns two of them. There's also the $3 million Bentley Java, but of course, Sultan Bolkiah has it in his collection, and somehow it gets even more opulent than that. His collection includes numerous rare finds like a classic gray Lamborghini Urraco. This is not the most expensive car in his collection, but can you put a price tag on an antique? There's also his Ferrari 456 GT Venice, one of only 10 ever produced and worth $500,000. And his $14 million Rolls-Royce Phantom 2, nicknamed the Star of India. This is one of the most expensive cars ever sold at auction. And then there's his gold-plated custom-made Rolls-Royce. It features an open roof and a platform for an umbrella. You can have an insane car collection, but is there anything more regal than sitting in the back of a golden Rolls-Royce and waving at your subjects? The Sultan doesn't just have a love for luxury cars, but loves his private jets as well. Although his jet collection is nowhere near the size of his car collection, a good thing too, because where on earth would he park these things? The Sultan owns 3 private jets, a Boeing 767-200, an Airbus A340-200, and the crown jewel of his fleet, a gold-plated Boeing 747-400, truly fit for royalty. He also gifted his daughter an Airbus A340 for her birthday. Talk about the dad of the year, am I right? Sultan used his incredible wealth to turn his Boeing 747-400 into a proper floating palace. Not very much unlike his real golden palace, but we'll get to that later. He spent at least $100 million purchasing his Boeing 747 and then another $120 million decking out the interior with all sorts of luxurious finishes. Like what he did to the master bedroom on this massive plane. For example, as you can see, there is a pretty obvious color scheme of opulent gold. Both the bedroom and its luxurious bathroom are decorated with gold and Lalique crystal. And yes, that does include a golden sink. When Sultan Bolkiah isn't in his floating palace, he's chilling in his actual golden palace, Istana Nurul Iman, which according to the Guinness Book of World Records is the world's largest living residence of a head of state. Sultan Bolkiah likes to entertain world leaders there. There was also the time he got one of the world's most successful golfers, Jack Nicklaus, to design a golf course for him at one of his hotels, the Empire Hotel to be exact. A 5-star resort that compromises stunning private beaches, lagoons, 5 pools, 6 restaurants, and a championship golf course, of course. All of that, plus a host of other activities and experiences, means a single night here can cost you upwards of $250. The Sultan also likes to splurge. I'm talking about spending obscene amounts of money on luxuries most people would never dream about. And no, I'm not talking about the time he paid $70 million for an oil painting by Pierre-Auguste Renoir called Young Girls at the Piano. No, I'm talking about how he spends $20,000 on a single haircut. According to the Times, Sultan Bolkiah flies out his favorite barber from London. First class, by the way, about every 3 to 4 weeks just to cut his hair. Everything is paid for, of course, and I mean everything. From the $12,000 ticket plane to the hotel, to the luxury food, and then he gets paid with a thick envelope filled with thousands of dollars. If there are any rich monarchs out there watching this right now, I don't just make YouTube videos, I also cut hair. You can find the Sultan traveling around with an entourage of over 100 people. Even if he's going on a shopping spree or traveling across the country, he's routinely surrounded by several people, bodyguards included. Whenever Sultan Bolkiah travels around the globe, he only stays in the finest hotels where he rents out the entire floor and spends as much as $1 million per trip. And that isn't even the Sultan letting his hair down, because when it comes to partying, nobody does it like Sultan Bolkiah. One of his famous parties was when he spent approximately $40 million on his 50th birthday. Throwing an insane 2-week birthday festival, he even had the king of pop, Michael Jackson himself, singing for him. There was a 3,000-person guest list, and each guest received a party favor of a gold medal on top of being stuffed with the finest champagne and caviar. Pretty insane party, right? Well, according to Forbes, the party cost him only 0.1% of his net worth that year. The Sultan of Brunei is far more than his massive collection of luxurious valuables. He's one of the most unique monarchs out there, and he's lived a pretty unique life. Sultan Bolkiah has been married a few times. He first got married in 1967 to his first cousin, SALEHA binti MOHAMED Alam. He also married a former flight attendant for the Royal Brunei Airlines named Aisha Mariam, whom he divorced. And finally, he married AZRINAZ MAZHAR, a prominent TV news anchor. They also divorced, but at this point, the Sultan already has 5 sons and 7 daughters with his 3 wives. A different member of the royal family, Sultan Bolkiah's brother Prince Jeffrey, was responsible for that royal family's financial difficulties in the past. For 10 years, he spent $747,000 on average each day. The legendary prince is famed for his excessive spending and is said to have spent more money than any other individual in the world, perhaps even spending more than his brother, the Sultan. In the amount of $14.8 billion, Prince Jeffrey was accused of misappropriating public funds. The millions in artwork, vehicles, and other extravagances had to be sold off to pay off his debts, and Sultan Bolkiah took the rest of his valued assets. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the most wealthy and lazy man alive. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed the video. And make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Thank you in advance for your feedback. I am Miss Luxurious, signing off for now. Do not forget to visit our YouTube luxury channel Luxzoid to explore the exemplification of the great state of comfort and extravagant living.